I served in the military under the Trump administration. I went to the United States Air Force Academy. I commissioned under Obama, but I served into the Trump presidency. I was stationed at Grand Forks Air Force Base, North Dakota. Now, I am a PTSD veteran. I have PTSD, but not from going overseas and getting PTSD through combat. No, I have PTSD from what happened to me on that base here stateside. Some of you have been following me long enough to know my story. If you want to know my entire story, there's an entire playlist on the long form content app. My abuser was a white woman. The situation was so bizarre that my therapist classifies it as military sexual trauma, which it was so bizarre that she had to tell me that it was. She said that it is one of the most bizarre, serious, devastating, dangerous cases that she has ever heard in her career that spans a few decades. Now, the military is already quite a conservative place. Certain kinds of harassment and assault are always rampant in the military, especially against women of color. But the emboldening of sick people and their sick thoughts that took place even within the military, where you gotta be careful about what you say, no matter what your political affiliation is. The emboldening that took place in 2016 was nothing short of maniacal. During like a year-and-a-half period during 2016 and 2017 where I was just trying to stay alive, this woman was able to freely treat me like an animal in front of my entire squadron, in front of my entire base. She was able to have me followed on base, followed into town, and then tell me, well, it's you against me. Who are they gonna believe? Oh yeah, by the way, she was my commander. She was my boss. She was my boss. This woman was able to look me in the eye, sitting in a chair across the room from her with two other people in the room, and say, oh, you jumped at me. You jumped across the desk at me just now. I can call military police and have you thrown in jail right now. Who are they gonna believe? I did not expect to get as emotional as I'm getting. This woman said to me, I spend 95% of my day thinking of things to do to you. During this time, I had people helping me behind the scenes that had some pretty big connections that honestly really should have worked. During that time and years after, talking to the people that were trying to help me, a few of those people said that if Trump wasn't running for president, if he didn't win the presidency, certain kinds of folks would not be this emboldened to do things like this. I'm talking about people that have served in the military before my time. They say it has never been like this, and if it wasn't, I am convinced that this would not have happened to you. The only reasons that they finally took me away from her is because she forced me to go get tested for a personality disorder because she told me that I was crazy and that I had something wrong with me and that I was slow. Because commanders on military bases, they can do things like that. They can basically do whatever they want to you if they can justify it. One of the only reasons that they got me out of there is because when they tested me, they realized that I didn't have a personality disorder or I wasn't insane. But based on her behavior, they determined that actually, if someone has something mentally disturbing going on, it was her. Even after she was gone, I had to wait out my time to leave the military in 2019. Even when she was gone, from 2017 to 2019, I was still hearing heinous things from people in my office, white people that I outranked, saying racist things, saying misogynist things. Build that wall all the time. In the office, build that wall. Bruh, my family is from Central America. People knew this. Still, in my face, in passing, build that wall. Talks about being deployed to the border to possibly open fire on people that could be our family. I remember sitting in the bed watching the results of the 2016 election, sitting in bed, numb. And I just remember thinking, this is so terrible. But I've already been living in the hell that is the consequences of this. The military is an isolated environment where crazy things can happen without the outside world knowing. But I know that people like me in the outside world went through very similar stuff just from the emboldening. The social consequences for this guy even running They were very real. I don't care how you feel about the military. I'm out of the military now for more reasons than just one, than just my health. Y'all out here in these streets talking about letting it happen again, like it just ain't a thing. Oh, it's a thing. It's a very big thing. It's a very real thing. We're not doing that again. We're not doing this again. Do you hear me? We're not doing that.